Hello and welcome to Three Questions with my friend Joanne with us from Intrinsic Wisdom Coaching. Good morning, Joanne. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Kevin. Thanks for having me. I look forward to our conversation today.
So, Joanne, before we started recording, you told me you had a call yesterday and you had a really great quote that you heard. Can you share that with the audience?
Yeah, I'd love to. And thank you for starting this way. For people who don't know what executive or leadership coaching is, or team coaching for that matter, because I do all of that. But what I've learned over the years is that people don't really know what professional coaching is, right? They think of sports and whatever that might be. So the coaching process, just to set the stage a little bit, is the process of assisting clients to unblocking that which is preventing them from moving forward. So what I'd like to do is share that client's insightful moment, like we like to call aha moments, during the session yesterday. And what they said was, so let me set the stage a little bit more. The client is looking at two pathways in their career. And what they said was, when I am in my creative nature and process, I am being, which moves me into doing. This was the aha moment that the client had, which is really the underpinning and benefits to leadership coaching. It's about assisting the client, whether, again, it's an individual, a team, or an organization, into being, right? We don't do that often. We're often doing. So into being, so that they can release the blocks that are preventing them from moving forward into the doing. So I hope that makes sense to folks, because
Profound.
does it? I'm sorry, I cut you off, Kevin. What did you say?
No, to me, it's very profound. When you said that, I'm like, wow, that person really understands coaching to get to that level. Smart.
Yeah, and I think it's a process that the person has been going through in coaching sessions that really, and the different questions and all of that we go through together, and the different tools that really brought them there. So I wanted to share that. So thank you.
So, Joanne, I guess when I was younger, when you heard someone had executive coaching, this person was very high level, maybe working in a large company. Is that still true today?
You know, Kevin, things are changing, as we know, right? You and I have had this conversation definitely before, and we both kind of grew up, if you will, in our professions over the last, I don't know how many years, and I won't mention that, but
Keep us young, Joanne.
all right, I will. And you know, what we're seeing now globally, if you will, in organizations and companies, is that shift, right? We're changing, and we're seeing changes in both the public and private sectors. And what's happening is both are starting to heavily invest in that personalized coaching or training and team development. So that is a shift that's happening. All professionals at all levels are now being afforded the opportunity. Now, are we fully there across all organizations, companies? Absolutely not, but the shift is absolutely occurring.
I think it's an important shift because, as we were talking before the show, sometimes our mid-level managers have a much more bigger impact on organizations than maybe some of the vice presidents, senior vice presidents. So it makes sense for that shift to occur, right?
It really does. And that's over my career, what I've always seen. So whether I was an executive director or earlier on in my career at a director and mid-management level, I know I went through my own challenges of learning and growing, right? Because we weren't invested in. Now, that again, that change is really going to have and can have an effect on the bottom line. So what we're seeing, and I'm just going to give you a couple little, or maybe one little stat, just to kind of make that point even clearer. There's great articles out there now on the return on investment of executive coaching, the benefits that it brings. And one of the articles, and I'm just going to read this for you so I get it correct. One of the articles is, it states there's 529% return on investment in soft skill development. And that impact is far beyond the C-suite, which leads to employee retention across the organization. Now, that article is talking about the C-suite receiving coaching. So can you imagine, as organizations and companies continue to roll this out, to other levels of management and frontline staff. So as we look at this, the soft skills are now referred to as power skills, and they're in high demand.
So can you talk to me a little bit about power skills in coaching? Because I'm not familiar with that term.
Yeah, I would love to. Power skills are, like I said, they used to be called to as the soft skills. That's what the term used to be. The power skills now are in high demand because what we're realizing, I'm going to say as a world, but definitely as companies and organizations, is that we need both. We need those tactical, how do I do my job skills, but we also need the power skills, which are also about human capital, humans, people, right? That we want to leverage their strengths. We want to empower them. We want them to tap into their own abilities and to really grow and not just look to the leaders to have all the answers and not feel like their voices don't matter. There's so many levels to this. But some of the soft skills, which I think many of your viewers have probably heard of, seen, and worked with, is emotional intelligence, communication. Communication is one of the key pieces of any relationship, right? And it's one of the most difficult things for many reasons. That could be a whole nother show. Adaptability, collaboration, awareness of self and others is huge. Teamwork and creativity. Those are just a few of the soft skills.
So I have one last question. This really seems to be important when it comes to employee retention. Because if I feel my company is willing to invest in me, it makes me feel valued and was probably going to make me want to stay with the company. So this must have a big impact on retention too, right?
Yeah, it really can. Absolutely. And right now, what we're seeing is a lot of shifting over the last couple of years. As we know, COVID has really played a role, but there's much more to it again than that. But COVID really kind of pushed us in a direction that employees are also saying, I need and want something different. So we are seeing employees leaving, and we're seeing companies and organizations trying to figure out and really diving into how do we build that retention? What are our employees saying that they want and need? And that's about organizational culture change. So yeah.
So Joanne, what's the best way for people to reach out to you? How can they learn more?
Yeah, my website is www.intrinsicwisdomcoaching.com, and I do free discovery sessions, and that's on my contact us page. Love talking to people to help folks figure out what their pain points are, and then how coaching could help with, like I said, individuals, teams, and organizations to really go into the growth development piece of this.
Awesome, Joanne. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to call into the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate you.